Hey there, and welcome back to Book Summary in Minutes. I'm so glad you've joined me today for another transformative journey through one of history's most powerful books. If you're new here, this is where we dive deep into life-changing books and distill their most important insights into digestible, actionable summaries. And if you're a returning listener, thank you for being part of this amazing community of lifelong learners. Today's book is truly special. It's one that has the power to completely shift how you view challenges, suffering, and what it means to live a meaningful life. So grab a comfortable spot, maybe a cup of coffee, and let's embark on this incredible journey together. What if I told you that one of the most profound insights about human nature came from the darkest chapter in modern history? Today, we're exploring Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, a book that transformed tragedy into wisdom and has guided millions toward a more meaningful life. Viktor Frankl wasn't just a psychiatrist and philosopher. He was a Holocaust survivor who spent 3 years in Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz. But instead of being crushed by this experience, he used it as a laboratory for understanding what makes humans truly resilient. What he discovered will change how you think about suffering, purpose, and what it really means to live a meaningful life. The ultimate test of human nature. Picture this. You're stripped of everything. Your family, your possessions, your freedom, even your name. You're reduced to a number, subjected to unimaginable cruelty. What would keep you going? Frankl faced this reality every single day for 3 years. In the camps, he observed something remarkable. Some prisoners gave up almost immediately, while others maintained an inner strength that seemed impossible under the circumstances. The difference wasn't physical strength, luck, or even optimism. It was something deeper, something Frankl would later call meaning. He noticed that those who survived weren't necessarily the strongest or smartest. They were the ones who had found a reason to endure. Maybe they were determined to reunite with loved ones. Perhaps they had a mission to complete, a book to write, or simply a deep belief that their suffering served some greater purpose. The psychology of the concentration camp. Frankl identified 3 phases that prisoners typically went through. First was shock and disbelief that this could really be happening. Then came apathy, a psychological defense mechanism where emotions shut down to protect the mind from unbearable reality. Finally, there was either despair and death or the discovery of meaning that allowed survival. Here's what's fascinating. Frankl realized that even in the most dehumanizing conditions, humans retained one fundamental freedom: the freedom to choose their attitude toward their circumstances. The Nazis could control his body, but they couldn't control his mind or spirit. He tells the story of a fellow prisoner who dreamed of his wife every morning. Even though he didn't know if she was alive or dead, the love he felt for her gave him strength to face each day. That internal experience became his sanctuary, his source of meaning that no one could take away. Everything can be taken except one thing. This leads us to Frankl's central insight. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Think about your own life for a moment. How often do you feel like a victim of your circumstances? Your difficult boss, financial struggles, relationship problems, health issues, these feel like they're controlling your happiness, right? Frankl suggested while we can't always control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. This isn't about toxic positivity or pretending everything is fine. It's about recognizing that between any stimulus and your response, there's a space. And in that space lies your power, your ability to choose a response that aligns with your values and serves your growth even in difficult situations. The will to meaning. Now here's where Frankl revolutionized psychology. Freud believed humans were primarily driven by pleasure, what he called the will to pleasure. Alfred Adler argued we were driven by power, the will to power. But Frankl proposed something different, the will to meaning. He observed that people could endure almost any suffering if they could find meaning in it. But take away that meaning and even minor difficulties become unbearable. This is why some people thrive despite enormous challenges, while others feel empty and depressed despite having everything society says should make them happy. Meaning isn't something you find like a hidden treasure. It's something you create through your choices and actions. Frankl identified 3 sources of meaning: creative values, what you give to the world; experiential values, what you take from the world; and attitudinal values, the stance you take toward unavoidable suffering. Finding meaning in suffering. This might be the hardest concept to grasp, but also the most liberating. Frankl isn't saying suffering is good or that we should seek it out. He's saying that since suffering is inevitable in life, we can choose to find meaning in it. When suffering is unavoidable, and let's be honest, some suffering always is, we can transform it into a triumph by the attitude we adopt toward it. A terminal diagnosis can become an opportunity to show courage. The loss of a loved one can deepen our appreciation for the time we had together. Even failure can become a teacher that guides us toward wisdom. Frankl often quoted Nietzsche, "He who has a reason to live can bear almost any how." When you have a clear sense of purpose, your why, you develop an incredible capacity to handle whatever life throws at you. Logotherapy, healing through meaning. After the war, Frankl developed a new form of therapy called logotherapy, literally meaning therapy. Unlike traditional therapy that focuses on healing past wounds, logotherapy focuses on the future and helps people discover their unique purpose. The core idea is simple. Psychological problems often stem from what Frankl called an existential vacuum, a feeling of meaninglessness. When people find their purpose, many symptoms naturally resolve. It's like the difference between treating a fever versus curing the infection causing it. Logotherapy asks, what is life asking of you? What unique contribution can only you make? How can you serve something larger than yourself? These questions shift focus from self-centered concerns to meaning-centered living. Practical wisdom for modern life. So how do we apply this wisdom today? First, recognize that meaning is personal and unique. Your purpose might be raising children, creating art, serving your community, or advancing scientific knowledge. There's no universal formula, only your individual calling. Second, understand that meaning often emerges through responsibility. Instead of asking, what do I want from life, ask, what does life want from me? This shift from a demanding to a responding mindset opens up possibilities you might never have considered. Third, embrace the challenges in your life as opportunities for growth. This doesn't mean being passive or accepting injustice. It means recognizing that how you handle difficulties shapes who you become and can inspire others. Finally, remember that meaning can be found in the smallest moments. Frankl found purpose in comforting a dying fellow prisoner, in protecting his manuscript by memorizing it, even in imagining teaching about his experiences someday. Meaning isn't always grand. Sometimes it's simply choosing kindness when cruelty would be easier. The enduring legacy. Viktor Frankl lived to be 92 years old. He rebuilt his life after the camps, reunited with parts of his family, wrote dozens of books, and helped millions of people find meaning in their struggles. His wife, whom he dreamed about in the camps, had actually died. But he found new love, had a daughter, and continued his mission until his death in 1997. Man's Search for Meaning has sold for over 10 million copies and been translated into dozens of languages. It consistently ranks among the most influential books of all time, not because it offers easy answers, but because it provides a framework for finding purpose in any circumstance. Your search for meaning isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. In our age of unprecedented comfort and possibility, many people still feel empty and directionless. Frankl's insights remind us that external conditions don't determine internal fulfillment. Your meaning comes from how you choose to live, love, and serve regardless of your circumstances. So as you go forward, remember Viktor Frankl's profound gift to humanity. No matter what you're facing, you retain the freedom to choose your response. And in that choice lies your dignity, your growth, and your unique contribution to the world. Your life is asking something of you. The question is, are you ready to answer? And there you have it, Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning in just 10 minutes. I hope this summary has given you some powerful insights to carry into your own life. Remember, meaning isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you create through your choices, your responses, and your commitment to something greater than yourself. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What challenges in your life could you approach differently with Frankl's wisdom in mind? And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it adds value to your day. It really helps other people discover these important ideas. If you missed our previous episode, we explored another incredible book that pairs beautifully with today's message. We dove into Atomic Habits by Claire James, where we learned how tiny changes can lead to remarkable transformations.